I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another player review. Heung Son could very well be the final Premier League player that I review, at least until after or toward the very back end of Team of the Season, when we just have a little look through to see what we haven't used. I've reviewed a lot of them, and I reviewed a lot more than I thought I would be able to because of the price of some of these players, Heung Son included. This is a very expensive card. It's between 1.4 and 1.8, even upwards of 2 million if you're on PC, which is actually the platform that I play on. Managed to get this guy first owner out of a 2-player pack. Would you believe it? Not even a guaranteed Premier League upgrade or Premier League Team of the Season pack or anything. A 2-player pack. Crazy stuff. I don't have the footage from it, unfortunately, but just have to take my word for it. So, this guy fits into... He doesn't actually fit into the team, like, at all, really. He's going to have to be brought off the bench, which is really irritating that a 95 rated card doesn't get into the team on this account. And the reason it doesn't is not because he's not good enough. It's just because I have absolutely no one on this account that I can link him in with without compromising quality. So, you know, I'm going to be able to use like a Gabriel Jesus, but who cares about that? He's only like 84 rated. So, going to have to just bring him off the bench, unfortunately. He will start for the purpose of the review. Very good stats across the board, as you would imagine. And you may be questioning the Hunter. And that's something actually I was doing, so that's why he's got one. And I'll talk about that in just a second. So, 4-star skills, 5-star weak foot, high work rates, and a lean body type, which is a great body type to have in FIFA. Not talking about real life. You do you. 93 acceleration, 97 sprint speed, 94 agility, 98 reactions, 96 ball control, 97 dribbling, and 96 composure, 95 finishing, 97 shot power. You get the idea here, really, don't you? 90 something for everything, basically. He does only have 83 balance, though, which is not something I'd anticipated, actually. When I, first started looking at the stats, I was thinking to myself, well, he's obviously going to have 99 or high 90s agility, high 90s balance, and he doesn't, which is a little bit surprising, but it doesn't really affect the card in any way. That combined with 73, what's wrong with me? I can't speak. 73 strength isn't ideal, sure, but definitely worth mentioning that now and again he will get pushed off the ball, but it's not really that big a deal. It's just something that we'll sort of brush over at some point, I'm sure. 95 vision and 97 short passing, meaning that if you want to play him as a cam, you are more than welcome to do so because he will fit that position quite nicely. He's actually a 96 rated winger. Cam, centre forward, right forward, left forward, and indeed left mid, right mid. And if you give him a particular chem style, you can turn him into a 98 rated any one of those positions. Now, you can get him to be a slightly better striker than the 93 that he is. The reason I've given him a Hunter, and this is going to sound stupid, but time and time again, I've been coming up against people who are using Hunters on players that it just doesn't make any sense. They've already got 99 or 98 acceleration, 97 sprint speed, and they still give them a Hunter. And these players that I'm playing have really good red picks. They've got insane teams across the board, great Team of the Season cards, and they have shadows on every single one of their defenders, and they have Hunters on every single one of their attackers. Now, you could then assume that they'd have catalysts on their midfielders, but no, they don't. The ones that they use as CDMs, they'll have shadows, and the ones that they use slightly more attacking will either have things like engines, or they'll just go the full hog and give them Hunters as well, which leads me to believe that there's something in that sort of Hunter shadow thing that I'm not seeing. So right at the very beginning of FIFA 20, I was watching a pro on Twitch, and he was just doing draft until he had enough packs together to do a big pack opening, and then he was going to build a team and take it into the first weekend of champs, or try and qualify for champs. And he was adamant that Hunter and Shadow chem styles were the be all and end all, and you had to use them on every player. Like, a defending player would have a Shadow, an attacking player would have a Hunter, regardless of whether he wanted to boost the passing, regardless of when he wanted to boost the finishing or the pace or anything. He was always choosing in draft Hunter or Shadow players, even if there was a better player available, but it didn't have a Hunter or a Shadow. That guy, I forget his name, Alexander, I think it was, he went something like 70 or 80 games unbeaten in draft. He was literally winning draft after draft after draft. And okay, he's a pro player. He's obviously going to have a much better time in draft than the majority of us. And, you know, losing games is not in his nature. But still, he believed it. I don't know whether he still does, but he did at the very beginning of the game. And I was like, nah, surely, no, I can't be. And then lately, just been noticing a lot more. So that's why, and there's a very long-winded explanation, but that is exactly why there is a Hunter chem style on Son right now. Is Son any good, is the question, and does the Hunter make a difference? I can't actually tell you whether the Hunter makes a difference. I was a bit of an idiot then, obviously didn't play any games with him without the Hunter, so I couldn't tell you for comparison if he's better with or without it. But his finishing, his passing, his pace, his power, everything about this card is fantastic. I found very little in the way of negatives, and I think we're going to find that, and I think I mentioned it in the Aubameyang review. Look at that for a goal. I mentioned it in the Aubameyang review. That guy is 96 rated, and there is very little in the way of a flaw, and that's going to be the same thing for Son, and it's because they're so high rated that at this level, you are literally... the game didn't listen to me there. We won a penalty out of it, and I'll talk more about that in a second as well, because I have a theory, but... yeah, I tried to do a Balassi flick, and it just didn't listen. And then when it did actually listen, it was too late, but Alisson took him out from behind. And we actually got a nice little win in that game, having gone 2-0 down, which I was quite happy with. But the quick little theory on penalties before I start talking about what I was saying about players not having many flaws. Aubameyang and Heung-min Son have been winning a crazy, and Mahrez actually, have been winning a crazy amount of penalties for me. And I don't know whether it's because they're just so good the AI can't handle it, or my opponent can't handle how good they are. Or maybe there's something in the game where if you've got players with crazy dribbling stats and crazy stats across the board, that they just get fouled and brought down a lot easier. I'm not sure, but there's a lot of penalties for Son in this review, and there are a lot of penalties for Aubameyang. I'm not sure if I put any for Mahrez, maybe one. But just know that all three of them have probably won more penalties combined for me than any other players combined in the last 3 months. Crazy amounts of penalties being awarded the last few days. Anyway, what I was saying was, there's just not going to be that many flaws and drawbacks with regards to these cards, because they're so high rated, their stats are so insane. It's going to be a case of me just sitting here and nitpicking, really. Me looking at them and forcing myself to find a negative. So the high defensive work rate, does it really affect him? I didn't find that it did. He actually kind of helped me, because I found that he was coming deep an awful lot, and he's so good that it doesn't matter what position he's in, how deep he comes, he's got 99 stamina. He can go all game, even if he is doing a Roberto Firmino, where he's yo-yoing up and down the pitch. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. Yeah, by the 80th-ish minute, there you go, he is flagging a little bit, but that's okay, because so is everybody else, so it's fine. I didn't really see that it was too much of a problem. So the high defensive work rate is definitely a con, but it doesn't really, it's not a game breaker, and at times it kind of helps with him coming back and helping out. The strength and the balance combination isn't ideal, and again, it's me nitpicking, because I can't say at any one point, oh, I missed out on this chance, or I was fouled here or whatever, and I could have scored and I wasn't given a penalty or a foul or whatever. And it's down to his strength. If anything, his strength is quite low, and he wins a lot of penalties. So you could argue that he's getting pushed over in the penalty area because of his balance and his strength, but he's still winning penalties. So if anything, it's a plus. But I had to put it down as a con, because on paper it doesn't look great. But honestly, apart from that, this guy is absolutely incredible. And I wished I'd managed to pack him on my main account with Mahrez and Aubameyang, because that attack could arguably be the best in the game. The guy is insane, and that rhymed, and I tried it to make it rhyme, and it worked. But anyway, that is going to do it for the Heung-min Son review. The other thing, actually, value for coins. I have put it down at 85 because, yeah, you get what you pay for, but 1.8 million is a lot to spend, not just on Son, but on any card, regardless of how good they are, 1.8 million is a mental amount of coins. So I've got him down value for coins at 85 because, yes, you get what you pay for, and he is one of the best cards I've used this FIFA. Him and Aubameyang are just up on another level. And I've not used that like Team of the Year cards and higher rated Team of the Season cards outside of draft, so I'm not going to judge those, but they are some of the best cards I've used. And you do get what you pay for, but upwards of 2 million coins for any card in this game is just astronomical. Like, the average Joe and even the above average players won't ever be able to afford this guy unless they pack him untradeable or whatever it may be. So that's why the value for coins is slightly low, because I think if you were to spend 2 million coins on maybe 3 or 4 other players, you could maybe get a little bit more enjoyment than just spending it all on one card. The value you get from that one, is it really going to outweigh what you can get from 3, 4, 5, 6 other Team of the Season cards? You could buy a whole new back line of Trent, Robertson, and then a couple of others like Soyuncu, for example, or maybe whatever, and Alisson in goal, and have a whole new back line of mid-90 rated Team of the Season cards for the price of this one card. So that's why. But there we go. That definitely is the end of the review. If you have enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.